Hello and welcome to another movie review. Today I saw the Croods and not really too sure what to say about it. It's a kids movie, obviously. Was sort of funny, not really over the top hilarious, but I'm sure kids would like it. Actually, as many kids that were in the theater when I was watching it, obviously kids are gonna like it. Um, it's a little different than what I thought it was going to be from the preview. In the preview, it made it look like they just never leave their cave, and then one day the girl decides to leave the cave, and that's when everything happens. That's actually not the case. They do leave their cave, but it's only to go out and get food, and then they go back in. They rush out, they get food, and then they run back to the cave, and then they camp for a couple days until it's time to get food again. Um, the girl doesn't like being cooped up inside. She wants to go outside and be adventurous. Her father says, staying in the cave is the only way to really protect everyone. So one night she's in the cave and she sees light outside. So she gets curious because it's not daytime. So she goes out to investigate and meets a boy who has fire. So basically, he tells her that he's seen that the world's ending. So, he tells her, like, the ground will start to rumble and crack, and that means it's coming towards you, and you need to run and get away. So, first, she doesn't really believe it, and she tells her father about it, but he doesn't really believe it either. He's just more mad that she left the cave. Then the ground starts to rumble and crack, and he says, everyone get back to the cave, and as they're running back to the cave, big rock falls and crushes the cave. So then it's kind of like, if we had listened to you, we'd all be dead. So they go out trying to, after the cave is destroyed, they see this big valley that's been behind their cave the whole time, apparently. So they go out and they're trying to basically stay ahead of the world splitting and all that. So they go out into this wilderness that they haven't been to. The father's still defensive mode, trying to keep them all safe, but the girl's adventurous and kind of keeps pulling them into stuff that they really didn't need to be into. Eventually, the boy meets up with the entire family. Then it kind of turns into the whole dad's not ready to let the daughter grow up type of thing. He sees that the girl really likes the boy, so he wants them to stay apart, and then the whole family starts to like the boy because he's basically kind of an inventor. Like, he's coming up with things. Like, at one point there's these spikes that they can't walk on, and they find out that he can walk on them because he's wearing shoes, which they don't know what shoes are, so he basically says, I invented these, they're called shoes. He offers to help him out if the dad will cut him some slack, so the dad agrees. Later on, the dad, basically he's leading them to the mountain where he says they'll be safe, which he doesn't really know that. He just thinks that that's probably the safest place to be, I guess. For some, I forget why he explained it, but I don't really remember. It was something that his dad told him or something before, or one of his parents told him before they died. Something about the mountain. So they're all going towards the mountain, and then the dad starts to get jealous because everyone loves the guy because he has all these inventions. So then the dad tries to mellow out and say, I can come up with inventions too, and he comes up with a few things, and everyone's like, why are you acting this way? This isn't what we want. We just want you to be more accepting, I guess. I forget how they phrased it, but yeah. So then the dad and the guy get into kind of a scuffle, and they end up stuck in a situation where they have to help each other to get out of, and it's a little bonding moment between them where the dad realizes, this kid's lost a lot too, and he really doesn't have anyone, so you know, and then the boy's like, I understand why you're protective, blah blah blah. So it's one of those moments. So then they end up getting to the mountain, and they get to a relatively safe place, I guess. The earthquakes and the world splitting kind of stop finally, and yeah, they all live happily ever after. There is a brief moment where you think the father died, and well, you don't really think it because they show you almost immediately that he's still okay, but you kind of think that he's going to be separated from his family and that something might happen, and then he ends up what you thought would happen doesn't happen, and he ends up reuniting with his family, and they all live happily ever after. So that's basically the Croods. As I said, it's a cute little kids movie. You know, I kind of enjoyed it because I can appreciate kids movies. You know, part of that whole staying young at heart type of thing. I still enjoy a lot of like Disney type films, things like that. Like Toy Story, obviously. Uh, so yeah, that's the Croods. Not really much more to say about it. As far as a star rating, I'd probably say, well, I want to say a 3, maybe 3.5. Um, it wasn't like a super great movie, but I wasn't bored watching it. I was entertained by it. Um, some of the jokes fell flat, so as far as the comedic aspect of it, might lose a little bit there. So let's go with. I'm really pushing this one. Yeah, let's go with a 3. It's it's middle of the road movie. If you like kids movies, you know, like Toy Story and stuff, you'll probably enjoy it. If you don't, you won't. You know, if you're into the sappy family drama type of films, you might enjoy it, even if you don't like kids films. So yeah, other than that, so yeah, based on that, I'm kind of pushing more towards a 3. Uh, Other than that, not really much else to say about it. Not sure what I'm going to get around to seeing next, but I'll see something and I'll report back when I do. Until then, thanks for watching, and we'll see you at the movies.